So these are just some practical ways of living a little bit better, right? You know, the first thing that we have to understand is that we have energy of life and energy of death. We have energy of Shiva, which is death and destruction, and energy of Shakti, Krishna, which is more of the masculine, which is creation. The energy of life is that capacity of being happy, right? To live in the present and to feel it, right? It's like similar to like a state of peace and state of grace, right? You feel every time more and more content and happy to just be alive, right? To be happy to be able to see these mountains, be able to engage with people. And so this energy of life, what it does is it potentiates the energy of yourself, of your soul. Every time that you're joyful, the quality of your life starts to increase, right? The joy has to come from the heart. It cannot be a mind technique, right? And so you have to be able to bring it down to yourself, to be able to feel life. So what happens is, from this point onward, right, everything starts to be of assistance to you. All of the things that you start to, that all the happenings, all of the eventualities, situations, right? The energy of all of that starts to be of assistance to you. Yeah. And so on one side, this is the energy of life. But on the other side, we have the energy of death, right? Which is a contraction energy. So when we're born, we are born with a very high energy of life, which is why all children are so happy, so joyful, right? You know, it doesn't really matter to the child who wins, whether it is Republicans or Democrats or anything like that. The child is consistently happy, right? But when what happens is, different relationships starts to come to the child's life, right? There's punishments here for some mistakes here and there. You know, you get into once you get older, you go into a relationship with a partner, and then you get heartbreaks and all of these things that start to happen to us. They begin getting stored in our electromagnetic field, and all of this is a energy of negation or death. As we go through life, the energy of Shiva and negation more than anything, right, starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and almost everything then, right, starts to consume our capacity of tuning and flowing our energy of life, which is what happens to someone that gets to old age, right? Not all of them, but most people who are getting to old age, everything that they see in the world, society is going really bad. The youth, right? It's, like completely off center and with no values, you know, and so everything that is being observed is wrong, right? Because there's anything, right? And then what starts to happen is like everything that goes around you, your personal universe, starts to mimic that perception that you have. And so what we want to do is we wanted to start to take a look at everything from the perspective of the energy of life. But we cannot fake it, right? We cannot be fighting against any of these, right? Because then if we do that, then what starts to happen is that we start to entertain and not liberate it, right? We don't liberate the conflict. And then it continues to manifest in different conflicts and situations, finances, etc. So what we can do once the energies of negation and death they're inside of us, the only thing that we can do is we can transform it into energies of life. And how do we do this? So the energy of life and life itself, of course, right? It's got one law, which is one of the main life's laws, which is the law of evolution. Everything is going in a process of improvement. And so when I start to improve and evolve an energy of negation or death, then it starts to transform into an energy of, life. If I am angry, then I can start to grow from that anger. Why am I angry? And then I start to evolve myself, and then my life starts to evolve as well. And that energy of negation, it's not going to serve a purpose anymore. and I'm not negating it anymore. I've dealt with it. And so what this produces is that everything that is taking place in our life, it's everything starts to be meaningful, purposeful. Okay. And a lot of the times what we're missing is the meaning of things. What's the meaning of this? What's the meaning of, challenging times with finances or challenging relationships? And we have to find that, but it is within us, right? In these energies of negation, if I was angry last week, what can I do to evolve this? How can I learn this? And that learning is never through something that is foreign. It's within us. It's not like I am going to learn that this job or that person does not, benefit me. No, no, no. It's always something within us. And so when when we want to find the true and the right answer, you will know what the right answer is because your state, your emotional state completely transforms. And that happens when you look inside, right? When you look at the negation within us. And the way that we're going to feel is free, you know, just in a state of flow, right? With whatever's taking place. So it's very important that we want to maintain an energy of life, a joy, a happiness above all things. But when there's an energy that is negative of negation, we know how to use that and how to transform it, how to accept it, and how to feel good even in the face of all of that, right? So that we can, not escape from it. And by not escaping it, then I start to gain resilience and I am not fooling myself that it doesn't exist and that the problem is outside, and then I start to gain a resilience of mind and heart. And what happens in that moment, everything that happens to us, everything that happens to you, to me, we are going to start to make it evolve. And it is evolving into that which I'm requiring, what I'm needing, right? And everything that is taking place, then there's a meaning, there's a purpose, and we start to find the purpose and the meaning in everything that's taking place. By doing this, our vibration starts to rise. Right? You raise your vibration, you become happier, you start to improve in every areas of your life, all areas. And so this is basically, right, what we have to do when dealing with these two energies with us. And so, I mean, just to give you a few practical advice, the first one is, you guys got to remember, right, that the human being is here on this planet to evolve itself and evolve everything. Everything that exists, it is us, it is for us to evolve it. You know, we evolve our planet, people, our children, our relatives, etc. Our finances, even the natural landscapes, right? Whatever it is, evolution. So with everything that I do, that I make evolve, I evolve. I evolve through everything that I make evolve. And this is Aini, this is a reciprocity chains, right? I give evolution and then it comes back to me and I evolve, right? It's not, from something that I want to show the world or something like this. It's from what I am getting back based on what I am giving in evolution, right? What do I feel in my heart that I want to share? What type of love, right? And then I start to evolve, right? And the person that is listening to me also evolves, right? And so this is a way of making our personal universe collectively to evolve, right? And so the number two is that everything is around us in our personal universe. Every person, every object, every plant, right? All sorts of nature, everything that exists outside of us is also inside of us. Every single thing that we perceive that is wrong, if it's external, right? It means that the pain of something that is wrong is inside. And there's no evolution. So in that there's a de-evolution, right? Because we're not finding the meaning. When we're not finding the meaning to whatever, we're not giving the function and the purpose and the right use, of that thing. Does that make sense? And by not evolution, by not being able to evolve, there's a de-evolution. So it's kind of like going against the natural laws of life. Right? The first thing that we got to do is understand that everyone, all of the world, everything that exists in this planet, in all of the cosmos, is connected. And it's connected by this invisible mesh that we call love, is 99.9% of the empty space between the atoms. So it's a vibrational, a mind, aspect. And what I got to do is I got to vibrate with everything that is around me so that I can be in peace. Because if I feel in war or against something, you know, it means that I don't have control over myself, my state of mind. You know, something is manipulating, controlling my state of mind. And that makes it that I don't find the meaning and I cannot evolve anything. Right. And so, it's not useful. It's not being of use. And so then I repeat again, right? It is important that we have to keep in mind that everything around us, everything, guys, is sacred. And it's a reflection of the inside. Everything that is around us that we are not perceiving correctly, it means that inside there's something wrong with me. Everything that is around me that I am not giving you a function and a right use, a purpose, then it's not evolving in our life. And therefore, I am going into a state of de-evolution. I have to give a function to every plant, right? To my home, to my cars, to each person, to each emotion, right? To each state of mind. And so everything that is taking place, everything becomes meaningful, so big in our life, right? Little by little, what we start to notice is that all of these things that are around us are vibrating. Kawsay, they have an energy of life inside of it. And we can feel more, like literally physically, we can start to feel it more. Life starts to become more intense. Every experience that before it didn't feel like a normal experience, like intense experiences, now every time more, it starts to get more and more intense. The enjoyment, you know, the excitements, the learning, the depth, the profundity of each lessons, because we're not escaping anymore from each different experiences, because we're not escaping, we're not escaping this present moment, and everything in this present moment, everything is sacred. You know? When I start to understand this and I make it the most sacred, more evolution, more sacred my life becomes also, because what I'm not perceiving, right, then it's creating a negative future. The existence within everything, right? It has its own future projection as well. And those projections, it's based on how I am perceiving that. Right? So if I'm projecting upon something, upon a person, a situation, an object, and that projection is negative, it's going to create a future, right? Automatically, based on what I want. This is 9 letters of Christ. This, quantum mechanics with through the observation theories and the whole thing, right? So observing everything as sacred is not morality. It's not an idea. Is the enjoyment most intensely as you can, you know, is to become aligned with every single thing, with every single one person object. And so we stop living for our mind. We stop living to look for money, right? We stop living with the means of just searching for better things, We start to live for life. We start to live for Mother Earth, for Pachamama. You know? And then life starts to do that for us as well. We are accepting it now. We're living it now. And we don't understand that everything is sacred. Then the earth in itself begins also trying to, it cannot give us everything that we want. Basically because we are in this life, but we're really not here. We're like trapped in our mind, escaping the present moment, you know. And so when we start to see that, you know, life is sacred, life starts to become sacred, we become sacred for life also. And anything that you require, that you desire, becomes a rule. You know? And so what we want to see is just the first step is, start to see how things are all right, but you don't feel that are all right. How is it that it is all right? How can you understand that is all right? Relationships, you cannot escape relationships. We learn so much from relationships, right? The energy of negation is not so that we complain, it's so that we can learn from the pain that is happening between us, so that we can go and push through the threshold. Every time that there's a pain within us, right, we evolve, we expand, we become stronger. It's part of the Ashtavakra Gita also, right? We evolve in all aspects. So simply this: love life, love your world, consider this planet, this existence sacred. Stop, reflect, enjoy the present moment. Don't worry about what is taking place. And just, give yourself to the present moment. Allow yourself to live this moment. You don't have to look in people, right, for the things that you're requiring, right? It comes naturally. But it's nice to be able to integrate different ideas. And this is what is going to take us to begin creating our own anya, our own reality, right? To feel happy in every cycle that we have. The problem that we have is that we negate the world and negate ourselves. And we're living in debt, indebted with, life. We don't live for living. We have to begin living. Leave the mind, right? Whatever it has or it doesn't have to do, leave that, and begin realizing the paradise that you have in front of you, you know, even through the negatives, through that energies of negation, right? Which are never bad. It's just a step, for evolution that we're misinterpreting as bad, right? And so, for this, it's important that everything that you start to see meaning in everything. We have to find this meaning. It's always going to be an evolution within us that we have to take place, that we have to do. It's a state, a concrete state that we have to reach. Yeah. So remember, evolve your consciousness, evolve your consciousness through evolving everything. When we don't do it, it's a de-evolution, right? It's the opposite of evolving. So it's important to begin practicing, you know, to give that meaning to every emotion, to everything, every person, every plant. Wherever you're going, you start to heal because you're giving a sacred meaning, and that gives you a meaning also for that specific. You gain a radiance, a luminescence. Again, this is not an idea. This is not a belief. It is, something that has to do with alignment, with everything in the world. Does that make sense?